Hello, Professor Bright here. Welcome back to the Sunless Skies, where we just finished our business in Langley Hall, for now. I do have to see about getting my caged catches, which I think I have in the bank, along with more moments of inspiration, but those can be found later. Right now, well, I think we just explore. I think exploration is the right choice. Probably. Or it'll get us killed. One or the other. Let's see, what have you found? What kind of mining opportunities are there in the sky, by the way? Oh. That looks like bronze wood. Not what I need. I'm just thinking right now. Because I need like 4. Ah. Piranesi lies to the east-northeast of Pan, you say? Interesting. But no, I need 3 to complete that opportunity, and then 1 more for Langley Hall. So I don't know if I don't even know if I have 1, honestly. But, we'll look into that later. Right now, let's go look for Piranesi. This seems reasonable. Oh, God, no. And then we walked away. Oh, you're just an opportunity there. Well, that's not very helpful to me right now. Yeah. I'm just debating if I should go back and redo our equipment such that we have either the mining or the assaying installed. Do I have both of those on my... I do. I mean, it's only 2 cargo space, so it doesn't... I don't know. I'm trying to think of ways to optimize our trips through Eleutheria, now that we know Eleutheria is incredibly dangerous. And occasionally fascinating. Beware of dowsers, Captain. You look at ones, they rove here. Good point, good point. Oh, hello. The gleaming hulk in the dark, a wreck of a type you've never seen before. Approach the Behringer. A vast wreck, larger than any other locomotive you've seen. Armor rattles in the wind, an Albion flag flies, tattered almost beyond recognition. The hull is cracked like an egg, a charred and tangled engine exposed to the air. The Behringer, or Behringer, reads the nameplate, though some wag has appended a question mark. As you approach, you see figures scrambling behind guardrails, revolutionary slogans graffitied across every rusted surface. The Behringer is still very much occupied. Interesting. Board it. A dozen figures in heavy coats hang from the side of the wreck, waving joyously as your engine docks. Hello, hello. You step into the Behringer's hull to a swelling crowd and a babble of cheery greetings. Everyone is wearing a mask. The crowd parts, a woman glides to your side. Her scarlet leather jacket gleams with buckles and vestigial straps. Her face is hidden behind a mask in the shape of a screeching bat's face. Glad to have you aboard, says the unassailable founder, shaking your hand. The unassailable founder's bat mask is impassive. She gestures at the wall of masks behind her. Choose. Oh. I remember a different culture focused around masks. Interesting. Before you don a mask, you have questions, though. Yes. How did a London dreadnought end up wrecked in Eleutheria, crowded with devotees of the liberation of night? The founder waves a gloved finger disapprovingly. I can't go prattling my secrets to just anyone, can I? Join our community, put your trust in us, and I'll extend some trust in return. Ah. Okay. You have me interested. Let's see here. Ooh. A woman's face wreathed in glorious flames. The scintillant learns through experimentation, says the founder, putting aside concern for the safety of others or themselves. I mean, I'm not going to say that that is exactly the sort of person I am, but, let's go with the mask of the aspirant, a sculpted silver rose, blank, eyeless, mouthless. The aspirant listens, says the founder, and blossoms. As the mask slips over your face, you realize it is ingeniously designed so you can see perfectly between the folds of the silver petals. The aspirant's role is to absorb, says the founder. Go to the library and read a book, or go to the forum and enjoy yourself. Stay quiet. Grow. The Berenger's rusting innards have been hollowed. The walls and floors of a dozen interlocking corridors have been methodically stripped away, carving a vast hive-like atrium draped with ladders and crisscrossed with rope bridges. Anarchists bustle back and forth between a circle of iron doors below. The largest are labeled laboratories, forum, and hall of debate. Your fellow aspirants are by far the most common among the masked figures. Dozens of silver-faced anarchists mill back and forth between the libraries and the forum, silent except for the occasional polite cough. I do love this. Danger! Science occurs within. Yeah, science can be dangerous. And fun. But why can't I go to the library? I thought we had a library. Yeah, let's head to the forum, I guess. A stream of aspirants, supplicants, and recalcitrants are barreling through the double doors. The forum greets you with a cacophony of competing voices and the acrid stench of gunpowder. This was once the Dreadnought's vast storage room, and now munition crates have been stacked and shoved together to create a semicircle of stages. Hopefully no one lights a cigarette. The stages are occupied by supplicants, voices raised. Oh no, we can't tell a story. But surely they wouldn't mind if you delivered an impromptu talk. No. That's a bad idea, is what that is. Attend a lecture. You flip between supplicants. One is tripping over his words, another reaching her conclusion. Finally, you find a speaker whose words are intriguing. Ooh. The first lecture you come across is being delivered by a lithe, confident figure of indeterminate gender. They're expounding on their topic at such length that you have trouble deciphering what they're talking about. Finally, you identify the topic. A certain Mr. Barleycorn. Intriguing. The other lecture to entice you is that given by a diminutive old woman, speaking in a dry whisper to only 3 aspirants. We catch the phrase, coils of shattering ice 1,000 feet high. Yeah, tell me about Mr. Barleycorn. Or Master Barleycorn, I should say. The Haved's most eminent, most enigmatic servant, declares the supplicant, striding down the stage. We all know that it is in the Liberation's best interest to keep him on side. He's at least more scrutable than his master. So what can we do? Send him baskets of fruit? A backgammon set? The supplicant reaches the end of the stage. Pirouette. No! Mr. Barleycorn is fond of stories. He's a collector of information, and he is a lover of music. Bring him stories, secrets, and songs, and you may win his favor. Perhaps he might even relay your words to the Haved. Intriguing. I have questions. Many questions there. Unfortunately, I can't go anywhere else, it seems, which is kind of unfortunate. Head to the forum one more time to see if things changed. No. Okay, so, I guess I'll just put on a different mask. Harumph. Approach the unassailable founder. Strike up a conversation or perhaps swap your mask. The founder lingers in the Berenger's central atrium, hands in the pockets of her leather jacket, chatting to everyone who passes by. She combines an encyclopedic knowledge of everyone's names and habits with the uncanny ability to recognize them, despite their mask. Questions? Complaints? She asks, turning to you, or simply here to take another role? Ask her why her mask is different from the others. I'm curious. The face of the bat is distinctive. You've not seen another during your time aboard the Berenger. The founder laughs. My father was a diplomat for London. In my formative years, we were stationed on an island called Visage, far out to sea. The locals' lives revolved around the masks they wore. We chose our faces for ourselves. I was keen to implement something similar here. She adjusts her bat mask. This represented the worst of outsiders, the exile who brought nothing but misfortune and death. After I turned traitor and left the Admiralty, it seemed an appropriate statement. I see and understand. But now, I have the opportunity to do science! And therefore, I have to take it. A woman's face, wreathed in glorious flames. The scintillant learns through experimentation, says the founder, putting aside concern for the safety of others or themselves. The flames on the mask are orange-yellow tissue which rustles as you move your head. The scintillant's purpose is to visit the laboratories and take part in the experiments. says the founder, clapping you on the back. Good luck. Last time I went to the laboratories, I lost a finger. Yeah, but you're no worse for the wear. Mostly. A crude orange mask symbol has been painted above the door. Next to it, someone has scrawled, Danger! Science occurs within. Let us conduct some science. Ooh. Oh god. I'm not sure if I want to be a guinea pig, but the Liberation have kept most of the Berenger's laboratories intact. Every functioning laboratory has a sign-up sheet tacked to its door, begging for volunteers. Scintillants flit back and forth carrying clipboards, calipers, vapor-spewing flasks. There's no shortage of work to be done, and few brave enough to do it. Wait, the Berenger had laboratories beforehand? What? What were they doing? I mean, 61% chance of success. I could go for this. You approach a laboratory and begin to write your name on the sign-up sheet. Before you reach the third letter, you're yanked inside. Oh. A pity. An unappealing proposition. The Scintillants hand you a beaker of frothing gray fluid. Stick your hand into it until you can touch the bottom, one of them tells you, her voice betraying no hint of concern for your well-being. But do it slowly. Too fast and you'll experience no measurable effects, and only a little pain. You attempt to follow her instructions, but the liquid clings to you like concrete and blisters your skin. You withdraw your hand as fast as you can, making her hiss between her teeth, and shake her head. Next. Oh, I can only go there once. If I had known, I would have conducted experiments on my crew like an asshole. Yeah, let's approach again, switch out to a different one. The supplicant's job is to talk, says the founder, fastening the mask of a hideously toothed anglerfish over your face. And perhaps entice. Sure. Enticing. That's what anglerfish do. Technically. A miniature lantern dangles from your new mask, swinging back and forth between your eyes. The supplicant gives speeches in the forum, says the founder. Thanks to the mask, a person's reputation, or lack thereof, doesn't matter here. Just stand and talk, and if you're saying something worthwhile, perhaps you'll attract an audience. Maybe I will. I wonder, since I have the supplicant mask... Oh, hello. On the place behind glass, on the extinguishments. Ooh. Oh. Well, tell a story from your travels for now. It's not precisely a lecture, but as a supplicant, you can speak about whatever you wish. The right audience will find you. You climb into an unoccupied stack of bomb crates and launch into a reliable favorite from your stable of anecdotes. You attract a small but excitable audience who gasp and cheer at all the appropriate moments. When you reach the conclusion, they applaud more than politeness necessitates. I'm curious if there's a difference between doing this as a supplicant and doing it as a... I've already forgotten the term. Recalcitrant. Oh. I see. The roses reproach. A ripple of discontent spreads to the audience as you take your place among their ranks. The light of your mask lantern couldn't be more glaring. The surrounding aspirants rotate to face you, a field of silver roses staring in expectant silence. The supplicant on stage pauses, his own lantern swinging as his visage turns your way. It's bad form to interrupt another's lecture, he says. Get your own stage. Fair. Leave the forum. Oh dear. But it was supplicant was the word I was looking for. Not a word I usually use. It was not quite in my... Oh, I missed that. Actually, hold up. Well, thank you for welcoming me back, but... Yes, hit the wrong button there. Choose the Mask of the Recalcitrant, a snarling face halfway between Bulldog and Gargoyle. A difficult role, cautions the founder, a squabbler, recommended for those who have spent time as an aspirant. I see. Oh, and it was aspirant was the word. Getting my words confused. Let's see here. I think I'll go for that. The mask is oddly uncomfortable, digging into your skin, cutting off the blood to your ears. You peer out through a wall of gruesome fangs. Go to the forum or the debating halls and raise hell, says the founder. Ask impertinent questions, hit close to home. The mask allows you to speak loudly and truthfully without losing friends. Oh. Hey, hey. The Hall of Debate. Recalcitrants barge in like ants invading a rival nest. Some wit has painted over the door. Abandon the slippery slope, all ye who enter here. The Hall of Debate was once the Dreadnought's gun deck. A row of gargantuan cannons still point out at empty sky. Recalcitrants swarm under the artillery, shouting, stamping, roaring. The main debates take place on a raised platform. Would-be rhetoricians take center stage, declare their arguments, and await challengers. 3 recalcitrants state their position. Which will you dispute? The liberation of night is justified, an uncontroversial position, at least aboard the Behringer. If you challenge this audience won't be on your side. And I don't have much... don't have much in the way of chances of success. The Behringer is a waste of time and should be destroyed. A recalcitrant rolls forward on his wheelchair and states his position cheerfully, despite the roars of outrage. The audience will be on your side. 33% chance, you say. Morality is a social construct that collapses without the fear of punishment. This recalcitrant clearly hopes to deal only in abstract philosophical matters. The audience won't have a personal stake in the outcome. You know what? I'm going to go with that, because that's my best chance of success. Although, apparently, man, my mirrors are not suited to this. Like, I need to build them up even more. Consider Plato's ring of... Gyges, declares your opponent. If there were no consequences, no one alive could resist the power to enrich themselves at the expense of others. You offer a counter. Perhaps the majority would succumb, but there are some to whom their self-image matters more than their mask. After a raucous back and forth, she concedes defeat, and the surrounding recalcitrants roar. Someone presses a coin purse into your hand. A bounty says we've been trying to best her for weeks. Thank you. Yeah, I like to think morality wouldn't just collapse without fear of punishment, because... some people don't like to be monsters. Leave the Behringer, though. Your face returned. Your crew expressed a measure of relief at leaving behind the Behringer's babble, its crowds, its ceaseless bustle, not to mention that riotous smell of rust and sweat and gunpowder. As the unremittent darkness swallows your train again, the crew's relief turns to dismay. Maybe the Behringer wasn't so bad, they say. Maybe you could turn around. We could, but other works to do. And interesting. I'm going to need to remember that this exists, which will be troublesome, because I have a terrible memory. But yeah, we're going to be going back there a few times. I'm surprised it's not a formal port, though. Debate. Do we go in? Do we take this risk? Against my better judgment, we do. An extinguishment, a knot of darkness. Eleutheria is rife with them. Oh, fuck no. There are mysteries in the dark, but there are other things, too. What the... Oh, no. What? I saw claws in the darkness, and I left. Yep. Yep. I'm good. You know what? I'm good. I think we just run away immediately. If I was in better condition, maybe I would go there and try to fight whatever that was, but no. Not in Eleutheria, not with our current equipment. Not if I want to live. Oh, dear. I really need to get an improved engine. Just something that can have both the assaying and the mining at the same time, and I'd be happy. Because look at such opportunities that we are missing. It makes the heart break. I'm sorry. Might be needing to go back to Pan, actually. Or at least in that direction, because... I mean, we're good on supplies and fuel, technically, but... I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried by what I'm not finding. And the change in music. The change in music is actually really kind of freaking me out right now. Huh? Menacing his least favorite stoker, you tell it to report in. Oh. Cute. Ah, we found Piranesi, I believe. Prideful, the prince was locked in the dark while a poet was set free. I was the prince alone and forgot the poet too was me. Yes. Let us dock here. The crew are relieved at the thought of solid land. Bah, humbug. Do need to go to the shops, though. Trade with the chaplains? Nope. Never mind. Oh. No, that's for purchasing. Interesting. A chaplain of Piranesi offers you some of the treasure that once belonged to the prisoner's longer-serving guests. The jewels are, he points out, no good to them in Piranesi, and if the prison is doing its work, unlikely to be of interest when they leave. I mean, before I do that, yeah, you guys don't do anything else, just casks of Nevertine gemstones. Okay. I mean, it's hard to argue that this wouldn't be to my benefit. Did not do my math well. Okay. Wait. Yes. Okay, I'm confused by that, but sure. It just updated the inventory weirdly. Anyhow, the Niobe Seclusion. A mansion of immense size surrounded by acres of neatly kept gardens, tranquil here. In fact, it appears utterly devoid of life. The prison and the cottage, polyhedric sculptures, the dimensions eye-wateringly off. Grass of uniform color and uniform length, placid canals crisscrossed at right angles, all bisected by a pale gravel path, leading to a door of a broad ivy-shrouded mansion. Only its lack of windows betrays Piranesi as a prison. Utter silence bar the crunching of gravel beneath your feet. As you approach, you take note of a tiny cottage, incongruously nestled beside the mansion like a louse. A curtain twitches. Enter the cottage. The prison is locked, but the cottage door swings open at your approach. The only sound in the cottage is that of a teaspoon clinking against porcelain. A group of brown-robed figures turn to regard you. One gray-haired, gray-eyed offers you tea. We are the chaplains, she says. Our role is to help inmates reach egress. You must understand, none may leave Piranesi unaltered. We can be your guide, pipes another. 2 tours per visit. Choose your chaperone and take care to follow the rules. Piranesi is a treacherous port and not amenable to low-level visitors. Be wary. Why would we need a guide? Really? The windowless prison is large, but surely it can be mapped. The gray-eyed woman sips her tea. Do not attempt to judge size or distance here. Piranesi is unmapped and unmappable. There are only a few areas we know how to reach. Ah. I'll show you the statue garden, says the bearded chaplain with the kind eyes, where I help prisoners achieve redemption. I know the warrens beneath the shadows of the third chaplain's hood. You glimpse a slithering mass of disturbed flesh. He says nothing more. The final chaplain wears round spectacles, but his eyes are gone. His grin threatens to break free of his face. Come with me, come with me! Oh please, I am so very bored. Aha! Yeah, sure, why not? Wouldn't want to disappoint that guy. The gallant reformer, the glistening deformer, the grey conformer, or the glib performer. Okay. Well, let's choose the gallant reformer. Of my options, he seems like the least terrifying. A chaplain with an amiable smile and grey-streaked hair. The gallant reformer nods, putting aside his tea and fetching an old iron lamp from a high shelf. Once more onto the breach, he says with a tired smile. You follow him out of the cottage, up the gravel path, to the doorstep of Piranesi. Footsteps are worn into the stone. Footprints, rather. He has no key, he simply knocks on the grand oak door, and it opens. There is nothing and no one on the other side. You follow the reformer into the dark. Piranesi is, of course, bigger on the inside. The reformer's lamplight stretches only so far. You catch sight of dizzying spiral stairways, columns clad in chains, walls grooved by trickling water. The reformer strides ahead, boots splashing in the cold puddles. After a few minutes, you are halted by some toppled scaffolding. Berenice has 3 rules, says the chaplain, helping you climb over the obstacle. The penalty for breaking them is incarceration, and the unwritten 4th rule is that chaplains are forbidden from explaining them to visitors, so I'm afraid you must discover them yourself. Tread carefully in the meantime. Continue following the reformer. The statuaries are not far now. Watch your step. The flagstones here are uneven. Further into the prison, you begin to see inmates. Faint lights shuffling across distant bridges. Hunched figures with lamps chained to their wrists. See those lamps that the condemned carry? Asks the reformer. They impose a distortion of distance. A prisoner's proximity to the exit is determined by how much they have changed since they entered. The more they change, the closer they are to freedom. Some are more mutable than others, and a severity of sentence may vary. The reformer raises his lamp over a cavernous wall. Light does not reach the bottom. Those cast into the deepest reaches must change beyond all recognition. Curious. You stroll with the reformer through a forest of jutting stone limbs and impassive heads. A haunting refrain echoes. Somewhere, someone is playing the flute. Miscellaneous items scatter the floor: a sledgehammer, a toy soldier, a spinning wheel, a half-eaten jar of honey, a canvas, perhaps discarded by previous prisoners, perhaps provided to provoke or inspire change among those still entombed. Change needn't be bad, says the reformer. I try to help the prisoners improve themselves. Write a port report. The statuaries are but a fraction of Berenice's whole. A comprehensive report, the reformer insists, would take years. Berenice is vast, says the reformer. I've been here for centuries and I can't pretend to know even half its secrets, but I can tell you everything about this little corner if it pleases you. He focuses on the progress of the prisoners. William's been doing extremely well. I taught him croquet and he's managed a new accent. More importantly, he's agreed to meditate daily on his past wrongdoing. I fancy he's near to escape. I wish the same could be said for poor Philomena, who insists on justifying the actions of her past self. Shall we begin? That sounds ominous. The reformer rings a bronze bell. Prisoners gather like fireflies. Sure? Oh dear. The reformer moves between prisoners, fixing them one by one with an inescapable stare. For each he has questions. What are your regrets? What suffering have you caused? Answer honestly, it's the only way you can escape. After that, the questions become specific, forensic. When the prisoner runs out of words, he quickly moves on and subjects another to his relentless interrogation. When he comes to the 5th prisoner, he steps back and nudges you. Your turn. Interesting. But I wonder. Ask the prisoner about the rules of Berenice. While you're in conversation, perhaps you can learn something useful. Dialogues with the unredeemed. The prisoner shrugs. She doesn't know or she's unwilling to tell you. Could do that, could do that. Berenice requires change, not necessarily change for the better. A cautionary tale, perhaps. I do have plenty of tales of terror. Tell the prisoner a horrifying story of what happens to those who fail to correct their sins. As you reach a particularly grisly part of your story, color drains from the prisoner's face. I'll be good, she promises fervently. You can stop with the details. Her reformer claps a hand on your shoulder and chuckles softly. Yes. That having been done, and now that we have a little bit more rapport with the reformer, follow the sound of the flute. You come upon a woman, or something shaped similarly to a woman, in a long brown coat and hat. She sits atop a stone idol where 4 paths cross, her legs cross beneath her long brown coat. Her hat is pulled low, covering her eyes. The reformer introduces you. This is the venerable flautist, the oldest prisoner of Berenice. She's been here for centuries, and how has she changed in that time? She pauses her tune. Well, she said cheerfully, so far I've managed to learn the flute. Yeah, fair. Oh. Anything published since the Promised days, you say? Wait, how could she be... I wonder. How can she be centuries old if London has just come here? Or is there something more to Piranesi that I'm missing? Oh, tell her a story. She's eager for tall tales from the outside world. A little bit of friendship wouldn't hurt. A lovely tale she plays you a tune quite incongruous with the bleak architecture of Piranesi. It rings of honey and sunshine and fills you with brandy warmth. She's been here longer than anyone. She must have worked out the rules by now. I mean, with that level of hearts, it doesn't really... Hum. Success. Wonderful. I know the rules, says the flautist, but I'll only tell you the second. Don't give names to the nameless. Writing that one down right now. Don't give names to the nameless. What does that mean? No idea. But okay. Doop. Alright, actually that might be recorded in my journal now, but either way, return to the Reformer. He's hanging back, watching. He seems unwilling to speak to the flautist himself. Leave Piranesi for now. Follow close, says the Reformer. Don't let down your guard until we're outside. The Reformer pauses beside an unlit candelabra and pulls it like a lever. A section of wall rumbles aside, revealing a staircase. A shortcut, he explains. Soon enough, you've left the confines of Piranesi and the sky seems dizzyingly wide. The Reformer returns to his cottage, patting you amicably on the shoulder as he leaves your side. Well, I mean, do I want to go with the Gallant Reformer again? Not especially. Let's go with the Glib Performer as our guide. He tells you that this is the second of your three tours. He tells you that this is the second of your 3 tours. The other chaplains warily correct him. Oh, shoot. I just had a thought. What if this is the guy that lies to you during... Oh, God. I might have screwed myself here. But it might be fine. The Glib Performer hoots with laughter. He grabs an iron lamp from a high shelf and hurries you from the cottage. We shall be the very best of friends, you and I. He prods and shoves you up the gravel path to the doorstep of Piranesi. Footprints are worn into the stone. He has no key, simply stands back, whistles sharply, and the grand oak door opens without further protest. There's nothing and no one on the other side. You follow the Performer as he dashes into the dark. Come! The Performer leads you up a staircase so steep it rapidly becomes a ladder. Down below! The others stop me from having any fun. I'm sorry, what? Hold up. Think about that. Down below, the others stop me having my fun. At the top, you find yourselves among the bridges and precarious ledges. The vapors swirl below your feet. The Performer dances across dizzying drops, and when you come upon a cluster of prisoners, he begins tripping and prodding them with glee. One is knocked from her perch, and only saved when she clings to her gargoyle. Join in, he says. It's a terrible good time. I don't... Do I need to listen to these people? Press the Performer for information. What can he tell you about Piranesi and the other chaplains? Produces a string of colorful handkerchiefs from his sleeve and wraps them around your neck, just tight enough to squeeze. The other chaplains are extremely dull, he says. Why don't we talk about something fascinating, like the patterns upon moths or gentrification, while sawing a part of an elderly widower? Ooh. Okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to refuse the chaplains. We're gonna find out. Refuse to mistreat the prisoners. You're not a brute. Not without reason. I understand, says the Performer. Not everyone enjoys my little games. We should ascend. He bows low and sweeps his arm after you. As you walk past him, you feel a cold draft of air at your back. When you turn, he is gone. You're stranded deep within a prison the size of a continent, and you're alone. Fuck. You wander up and down an endless, crisscrossing network of staircases and walkways and bridges and buttresses and spiraling paths. It's freezing and silent and dark as dusk. The only light is the soft glow of prisoners' lamps in the distance, spotting the darkness like stars. The Performer will come and find you soon. Surely. Attempt to find him. He must still be nearby. Easy. The Glib Performer. You find him on a high perch nearby, grinning, teeth gleaming from the shadows. When you spot him, he swings down to your side again, letting loose a high peal of laughter. Follow, follow, he exclaims. and continues your tour as though nothing has happened. Okay. You follow the performer up corkscrew stairs and across walkways as wide as your hand. The floor is sickeningly far below. Finally, he stops at the threshold of a grand stone bridge beneath a cracked arc. He turns to you, lifting his spectacles and scratching at the withered interior of an eye socket. It's too dangerous for us to go further unless you learn the first and second rules of Piranesi, he says. Haven't learned them both. Then we should return to the gate, says the performer, grinning. Come back when you're a veteran of this place. Well, fair, I suppose. The performer leads you down to Piranesi's main door, and then out into the light and air, where the sky seems dizzyingly wide. He bows mockingly, turns on his heel, and skips back to the chaplain's cottage. Well, I mean, we leave for now. You've completed your 2 tours of Piranesi. As you exit, you hear the door lock behind you. Turn and leave. It seems Piranesi is closed to visitors today. As you leave, you come across the glistening deformer in the cottage's herb garden. He's still wearing his hooded robes, but he's stuffed gardening gloves over the sleeves. He is engaged in a furiously futile attempt to stamp his shovel into the stony soil. We're currently indisposed, he grunts, noticing you for the first time. We'll be open to visitors again in 2 weeks. As you turn to leave, he finally manages to embed his spade into the ground and levels up something tendrilled and twitching from the soil. Worrisome. Very worrisome. And not my only problem with this place. But found ourselves Piranesi, so all I have to do is find my caged catches, and we'll be making some money. Mind you, we've spent all our money to do this, so... well, it should be fine. It should be fine in the end. Maybe, hopefully. We'll find out. And there are more places to explore, a lot more. I've missed this. I have. But for now, thank you for your time. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.